I know. We're going to do a little bit of a countdown so that way people can come in. I don't expect too many people, but it's nice just to feel the theater. That's going to be cool. Just to listen to mine. Me, Luna, and Zoe are home alone. Home alone. I just feel like complaining. When you complain to your dogs, they don't listen. He nods to complain to them. We'll get it started here. Oh yeah. The old Ronin, that makes me happy. Right? Like that does make me happy. Woo! Okay. Hello and welcome to Raider HQ Ranting After Dark. I'm your ranting host, Ranter. And yeah, I'm just kind of ooh buddy. Ooh buddy. So I'm telling you right now, like I'm not really prepared for this, but happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. I'll say both. I don't care. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I will be doing a Christmas live stream just for veterans who might not have anybody. You can have me and I can talk to you and I'm happy to. But why am I doing kind of a midweek thing? So I'm a veteran. I have a TBI. Okay. And sometimes my judgment is not the best in the world, especially whenever I get pissed off about something. So sometimes I need to run things by people. Now, typically, it is the boss, which is my wife. I got to run things by the boss or else, I got to just make sure. Because sometimes impulse control is not on point for me. So there's something that this fear-mongering thing, right? Like the fear-mongering thing. Like I just went, and first of all, I would say I went and watched a few. Coasty, watch yourself. Tonight is not the night for that. As you were, Coasty. No, but I'm just kind of running a litmus test because I have this. I have this situation where I don't want this channel to be about mudslinging, right? I want it to be like, it's like leadership, If you lead the right way, if you lead the way that you're supposed to lead, people will follow you, right? And that's how I feel that I want to do the channel is I want to do the right thing, right? I want to do the right thing and I want to try to stay highbrow with it. I don't want to get down and start mudslinging with people. But I will tell you right now, and I don't know how to say this, right? Because I try to be honest. I try to show my receipts. I try to do this. And I just watched a video. It's from the same channel that caused me to do the rant yesterday or on the 16th. Yeah, 15, 16. I think I recorded on the 15th, published it on the 16th. I don't know. My memory's shot. I got mental health issues. But they're doubling down. And it bothers me that, and I shouldn't be surprised. The internet is a horrible place. YouTube can be a horrible place too, where people just say things, do things. And, I posted a comment on their thing going, freaking out, basically going, what are you talking about? You're just basically making stuff up at this point in time. You're just hitting every single buzzword known to man and under heaven to just scare the talking mushrooms out of somebody. Okay. You're just trying to scare people at this point in time because 41,000 people viewed that scary, non-true video. 41,000 people did. And I'm going to tell you, it's not about the clicks for me, but there were 41,000 brothers and sisters that were told the wrong thing. And I take that personally. It's not about they got more views than me. That's not what it is. It's that 41,000 people during the holidays even got lied to and fear-mongered, and it frustrates me. I don't know why, but it bothers me so much mm. I'm not going to name names, but if other people are naming names, I do not care, at this point in time because, look, do I get everything right all the time? No. But you know what? I am open to correction. I'm open to debate on the topic. I'm open to corrective criticism. Some people said, "Hey, look, man, haters are going to come after you. Don't listen to them." And I'm like, "No, I'm actually going to listen to them because I want to know if there's areas for me to improve." I I I didn't make up content creating. I don't know how to do it right. I take people's correct constructive criticism all day long. And you know what? Every once in a while, I'll make a video because I only get like 1,000 views, 600 views. And that's fine. But it's not for me. It's that only 600 people saw the thing. Only 600 people benefited from the information. Right. And I'm just upset, man. I'm, I'm just upset because this is the last thing that we need as veterans. You know, a lot of us have mental health issues. Christmas is hard for us. You know, it's hard for me specifically. That's why I'm on here. This is kind of a therapeutic, cathartic thing to to just say my feelings in a constructive way, but it bothers me. If I get something wrong, I'm my worst critic, right? I go back, I correct, I say, I give credit to the person that corrected the information. I do that. And maybe I'm not built for YouTube because I'm obviously not doing it right in terms of scaring the shiitake mushrooms out of everybody with no evidence, like just no shame. Like there's no falala shame. And am I wrong? Can somebody tell me, am I wrong? Should we be treating each other like that? Or should we just try to good faith effort? Right? Is it good faith? Like, can we put forth a good faith effort to at least make sure that our fellow brothers and sisters get the most accurate information? We have a hard enough time without people poisoning the well, misinformation here and there. And I'm not getting discouraged, disrobed. I'm not really. Like, for me, I'm the tortoise in which I'm just going to keep putting out a consistent message. I'm going to keep putting out a consistent set of evidence. I'm going to try to support my statements based upon factual data. And if I'm giving you an opinion, then I'll give you my opinion and I'll try to qualify that it's my opinion, right? But it actually upsets me when people do stuff like this. When people get the quick, like I am Victorious says, they get quick views. And it's not about the views. It's about and this is what you have to take. I'm trying to be as genuine as possible. Because and I'll share something with you. This is a trauma anniversary time period for me. So I get a little kind of short tempered, quick to, during this period of time. Okay. So this is why I have to double down my efforts and ask people, I've got to externally ask, is it, because I told him, I said, look, man, if you don't you've doubled down on saying things that are factually untrue. You provide no supporting evidence for this. You just say something that's untrue with impunity. You just say it. You don't care. You factually don't care. You don't care for what you're saying is true. And it hits me a little bit different during this time of year because for me, 41,000 people have higher anxiety now because of this. Now, could they use those videos and watch them before they go to a CMP exam? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's some use for them in that category. I don't know. Like, hey, look, I need to have my anxiety just maxed out before my CMP exam. I'm just going to watch this dude's videos. If they actually put that as why they're doing it, then fair enough. But this is why, like, for me, uh, I've been a social worker. I'm gonna share something with you guys. Like, I've helped homeless people. Like, this is where my out. Like, if you seem like, gosh, you really kind of care, it's because that's kind of the thing that I have done for a long time. Been a social worker. I've been trying to help people. I've provided, helped veterans for a number of years. Because I actually care. And it's very so for me, whenever I look at that, I don't see like, oh man, that person beat me in the number of views they got. Like, I don't give a shiitake mushroom about that. But what turns my stomach is that 41,000 people were just told something that is a lie. Right? Like, this person was saying that, oh man, if you say, like, they doubled down on they did another video about that, well, if you show improvement, then the algorithm sees it and it gets reported to. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Like, and the reason why they can do that with impunity is because there's no way to fact check them. Right? Yes, and I will say this too, is that a lot of toxic stuff are vet groups. Like, veterans themselves can be the most toxic to themselves. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but we're trying to, at least this channel's message is, I won't get everything right all the time, but I will try my best to make sure that I am fact checking everything. Okay, that I am reviewing everything. I am open to criticism. I am open to adapting to the situation. And I do want to set another thing straight. Now, somebody did name the channel in here earlier, but I've seen a lot of attacks specifically naming specific channels. And I don't want to do that unless they force me to. And then I will take it to the in the parking lot we go. Like, I don't want to do that. But I need you guys to spread the word, right? Like, I think honestly, 2026 should be the year of, I've had enough with fear mongering. Okay. Like, 2026, that's my New Year's resolution, is I'm going to fight fear mongering, at least to a healthy point, not to where it keeps me up at night, but like, I'm going to start refuting fear mongering, lies, untruths. And that's fine. Dash makes a perfect statement. Other channels can be entertainment, right? My channel is educational. It's not meant to be entertaining, even though sometimes I am accidentally. Like, that's why I keep saying, like, channels like the Salty Marine and the Salty Old Marine, they have a different context to them. Like, we're not the same channels, but I find value in both of them because they don't try to be something that they're not. They have their own niches, and I enjoy both those channels, right? And some channels are more entertainment than they are hardcore facts. Like, mine's like a TED Talk. I'm doing like 40-minute videos on how plantar fasciitis, like the most boring stuff known to man, is rated, because foundationally, I think you need that. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. I was just reading the chat comments. I need to put those up. Hold on. Just a second. Let me put them up here. But I'm trying to be educational. Now, what I hate is when somebody starts invoking educational stuff and they're just saying it in order to hit buzzwords, and there's no factual evidence there. Now, I know a lot of you, some of you, you have a disdain for certain channels, right? There is a difference, in my opinion, to it's hard not to swear. Okay. There's a difference between showing, like saying, hey, look, there's this congressional bill that's coming out that, if passed, has some negative stuff in it. So I'm warning you, veterans, that, hey, look, if this passes, this could be bad. That is not fear mongering. Okay. That is its own form of education, something that I don't delve in too often, but that is its own form of education and advocacy, right? The VFW does it. They say, "Hey, look, we're using your money to, fight against this thing." Fair enough, right? There's news channels, there's entertainment veteran channels, there's educational channels, and then there's lying channels. Okay? And fear mongering, saying like, "Hey, look, this could change, this could that." That's not the same as saying, "Hey, look, I'm just going to make something up, scare the crap out of you, and I'm going to walk away with hundreds of dollars because of it." Like, those are not the same things. So I don't want to conflate the two things. There are people that are reporting on, and I'm going to use the term reporting loosely here, but they're basically doing videos about negative things that are coming out, right? And people, I just don't understand. Like, I guess it's because they're big. And I'm sure that if I become big, and I consider big over 100, like over 50K subscribers, right? And subscribers don't matter. It's watch time that matters, right? That's what matters. And fear does sell. The fear does sell. And I don't like unsupported fear. I like concern. Okay. I will report concern. But there's a reason why I'm not talking about the future changes to the mental health too much. I'm not talking about the future changes to sleep apnea because they haven't happened yet. Now, I don't, I'm not digging at the people that talk about it, right? Because it is a negative thing. But for me, right? For me personally, I don't review stuff until it's finalized. And then I'm going to tell you guys, okay, this has actually happened. Let's work with it. This is how we work around it. This is how we do this. This is how you should review it. Right? I'm not going to talk about it until it's finalized, pretty much. Other people can talk about it beforehand because they're talking about facts. And I'm not upset at people that talk about things that are being proposed. If somebody comes in and they start talking about how they want to take this benefit away, I'm going to believe them when they say it. If they're a congressperson, if they're Lieutenant Dan, if there's somebody, if they want to take something away from us, then I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's them saying something real, and people can talk about that. But the issue that I'm having right now is somebody making a video saying, "Oh, the VA has now done this thing where if you're wearing a yellow shirt during your examination, you're going to be denied." Yeah, yeah, guys, you got to wear blue. You got to wear blue, red, white, or blue, and that's the only way you can be granted. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's currently, like, right now, what upsets me, what has this man on the screen right now with that face of, "Whoa!" That is it. When we have skipped talking about negative things and we have went straight to insanity, making stuff up. And that is the thing that bothers me. Like, that is the thing that I have to hold back the swearing for. Yeah, I know. And we got to laugh every once in a while. Like, that's the thing. Like, I can't control these people because guess what? It's operant conditioning that they put out the video, they get 41,000 views. So they're incentivized to keep doing it, right? And I'm just hoping that one day that people start noticing, right? That they start noticing the difference between correlation and causality. I just, I don't know. I will hold on. Robert, you're starting to ask me questions while I'm ranting. You're killing me, bro. 30% for kidney post transplant. How challenging is it to prove immunosuppressant medication aggravation caused peripheral neuropathy and radiculopathy? Um, your like okay, so something like this, okay, it's going to be dependent on the medical evidence. So if your primary care or your urologist at this point in time, it'll probably be a specialist. If your urologist weighs in on this and starts talking about how this is an immunosuppressant drug for the kidneys, right? Uh, and they talk about the residuals from the kidney loss, potentially the intervention or the surgery. This is going to be where how you prove that. Okay. So, and this is one of the things I was wanting to talk about in a different video is kind of how you organize your evidence because your medical providers they're not writing it for a non-medical person to read. So sometimes you have to remind them of that. But yeah, sorry for the question. It broke up the rant a little bit. Oh, thank you, certified. Barn door. I don't need any. Are you so cool, Raider? How are you so cool? That's funny. I'm not cool. Ask my kids. I just no. It's just like one of those things, though. Like I. It's just so hard that the VA is such a complicated thing. It's like going to a job interview in Japanese and not knowing Japanese to begin with. It's like this weird shell game of information. And then you have people that are profiting off fire truck lying straight away. And it's like, sure, because you can't fact check them. That's the beauty of the grift here, is that you can't fact check them because there's no way to know. And it's part of the reason why I made the channel is because you wouldn't believe, like, watching YouTube makes me physically ill sometimes with the blatant lies. Like the blatant lies. Like there is no shame in some of these people. And I don't like starting things, but I will finish them. Okay? If people want to lie, then I will call them a liar. And I will start naming their channels if they keep it up. Because here's the deal. Prove me wrong that you're a liar. Show any kind of receipt for it. Oh, there's an algorithm. Oh, man, there's this weird algorithm. Oh, gosh, it's going to catch those words. The hell are you talking about? If that were true, just thought experiment here. If any of that was true, why isn't it being used in favor of you? How many times have you had it to where the VA examiner didn't catch something positive in your favor? Oh, it was written right here in my records. Oh, where'd the algorithm go then? Right? Like, that's how easy it is to prove this bullshit wrong. Is because if the algorithm was working, then this fantasy algorithm would be working then, wouldn't it? Like, there isn't even, guys, the ASD system that is used it's an algorithmic based program that's meant to help out sometimes and request increase exams based upon the evidence of record. There are only 10 situations in which that system can be trusted to try. Just try. We don't trust it at all. because we have VSRs double check it because it can't be trusted. AI is not allowed to be used in rating decisions. I don't I did a video on that, I think. I think I did a video on that where I actually showed, or did I? There's an internal memorandum for it where AI cannot be used for rating decisions. Anyway, but I just I don't know, guys. And this is not like, you guys don't have to donate, like, I mean, or anything like that. But thank you for doing it. I mean, it's not like, that's not the purpose of this. Like, none of this is the purpose of this. Like, as an MD, is it a bad idea to give my CMP examiner my self-completed DB draft DBQ for my BDD exam? Yes, that is a bad idea. Okay. So, okay. This is actually a very good point. Okay. So can veterans who are qualified clinicians fill out their own DBQ? Yes, but not the BDD. You can't do it. You physically, the initial claim cannot be done. The initial DBQ cannot be done by you. So but what happens here is that you being an MD going in and talking to a nurse practitioner, I don't know about you, but I would name drop the fact that I am an MD. Here is my license. These are my symptoms. And then it will be yes, sir, no, sir. Like, that's how I do it, especially. But on subsequent claims in the future, there's a section in the manual, and I'll just look it up for you real quick. I'll try, at least while I ramble and rant. DBQ filled out by veteran. Yay. But yeah, so I don't know. I felt like I needed to do and let me see if I can find it. Uh-oh. Luna's coming out from under the bed. I'm trying to see if I can find it. It might take me a little bit to find it. And I think she hit a power cord or something. I lost power for a second there. But yeah, I might have to look this one up and put it somewhere. So we'll have to maybe come back to this. But yeah, I don't know. I watched that video and I lost faith, a little bit of faith for a second. And I was just like, happily doing this. They're just happily doing this. They're happily putting out another fear mongering video because they probably made a couple $100 on it or something like that. I don't know what the going rate is for their videos or whatnot, but it's different for everybody. Certified barn door. Yeah, this is the part, Dash, that bothers me too. Because if the algorithm was true, right, your BDD claim would just go through. Like, all these claims would just go through. If the VA could show improvement of your conditions, they can't create a claim where there is no claim. Like, there's so many different things that people don't know about, that veterans themselves don't know about the process, that allows people to grift the shiitake mushrooms out of them and fearmonger the crap out of them. And that's why. Like, why do you think I'm so frustrated? Because it is like literally checkers and chess is being talked about. Like, I have actually had people tell me that's not how that works. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? How would you know that? Like, gosh. Oh, oh man. Don't get me started on that. But private DBQ, that's what I need to do. Sorry. I am currently right now whatever this is. Veteran, yes. But I'm looking this up still. I'm like a dog with a bone. I can't stop. But yeah, so I don't know. I can't. VA providers, veteran. I don't know. Da, 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 da. I should probably show you what I'm doing, but gosh, I don't know. Okay, here we go. I got it. I found the stupid reference. Here it is. I'm pasting it in the chat. There it is. That's it. And see that right there. Take a second and think about this. How many content creators, right? How many content creators can on the fly look up something related to your client that you just asked? How many? Like not many, dude. And that's why I don't know. Like yeah. But Sino, I can never say Sino. I'm just gonna say Sino. For BDD, all you need is a diagnosis. So history doesn't matter, just current diagnosis matters. But it does. It messes with me, guys. It messes with me. Can you talk about how the hip is rated? Yeah. I'm gonna start I think it's either this week or next week. I think it was next week or the week after. I had planned on doing the knees and the hips because they're kind of challenging. But yes, I can talk about that in a video because oh, shit's killing me. But yeah, man, I just look, it frustrates me to no end that 40,000 views for BS. 40,000 people had with a straight face too, with absolute certainty. That's the part that gets me, is that the person who did the video, no doubt whatsoever. I mean, if I don't know, like if I didn't know any better, I would have believed them. But I know better. But and they're just talking about all this crazy nonsense. And God, it just I don't like I don't like active liars. Right? Like I do my best, but I try not to actively lie. Right? Like I try not to. I just what's oh, it could be a bot. Benjamin, that's a pretty it could not be like actual views. It could have been they bought the views or something like that. But still, what's the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario is that 41,000 veterans or future veterans, active duty service members watched that and got the wrong foundational information. That and it just yeah, it hurts my soul. I am not a bebop bebop. Okay. Um, there's a 30-day tracked item that's typically for providers from start to finish. They have a 14-day quality assurance period that's built into that, but it can take longer. It can be. I don't look. Hold on. I don't want. Okay. Okay. I don't want to promote more people to go to it. Somebody knows what I'm talking about because they said the name of the channel earlier. So if they want to share that in here, then they can share it. But I'm not going to talk about it because I refuse to perpetuate fire truck worthy lies. Because they're going to get me to swear. But it's yeah, and so I'm not going to say the name of the channel, but I left a comment in their thing going, look, if you keep lying, I will start naming your channel in a bad way. And the only thing I can do is put out accurate information. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Honestly, uh, who said it earlier? Somebody called it on the nose at the beginning of the stream. Where did they say it? Well, because here's the thing. I don't want to get into like I don't want to just go down there because they can't I have to prove them wrong, which is nearly impossible because I can't prove that there's no algorithm other than to say that there is no algorithm, and that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard because it's not true. But I guess I'll say there's an insider in the name of the channel. There's an insider name. But yeah, I can't find their statement, but yeah, it's some kind of insider thing. But do not go watch it for educational purposes. It's bullshit. It is. It's so untrue. It's not even funny. Like, and it would be different if we had a difference of opinion, right? If they cited like, hey, the ASD system can sometimes take things out of context. I'm like, okay, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. Okay. But they gave an absolute. Like, if you say the word so and so, then they will log it. It will get logged by the shadow document government. And fucking Jesus. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. No. It's just I can't. I'm gonna start swearing more. It's just slowly eking out here, and they're not going to stop. And that's the thing. They're not going to stop because they're incentivized to do so via money. But here's like my takeaway, guys. You don't have to believe me. Okay? That's the thing up front. You don't have to trust me. I don't think you should. You should fact check everything I say. You should fact check everything everyone else says. You should not tell me or tell anybody that I am 100% right all the time, because guess what? I'm not. I'm a human being. But you should hold people to this standard. You need to prove your facts because there's a lot on the line here. Okay. Many different facets of things on the line here. Okay. Number one, you have your brothers and sister veterans here. Some of them have serious mental illness. And the words people choose and the fear that they instill in people is demonstrous. It's horrible because they can spin somebody up to do something bad in their life. It's the butterfly effect. You should not be scaring the shit out of people ever. You don't go running into anywhere screaming fire. And you don't know the consequences. You haven't had to man the suicide hotline. You haven't had to do things like that. And I'm sorry, it bothers me. This bothers me because they don't know the unintended consequences of lying. Okay? Like, this is bad. It upsets me because they don't know what their words do to people. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't have mental illness and you have good judgment and reason and you can deductively reason the fact that they are full of shit, then fair enough, cool. But let's play to the worst among us, to the people who are vulnerable to this kind of manipulation. If you tell them, if you scare them to the point that they're afraid to do anything, that is just, it makes me ill. And hi, Doc Shelley. Never trust the VA, but Something, Doc Shelley, hold on a second. Before you leave, Doc Shelley, is there an algorithm that the VA uses to look in your veteran records, your VHA records, and pull out the fact that something got better, some random statement, and that we would actually reduce based upon that? Is that a thing? Because I won't even poison the well. Is that a thing where there's just some weird algorithm that goes in and looks in stuff? Yeah, no, and there's still not one. Okay, so I just I'm sorry, Jolly Ranch. I'm sorry that you go through that. I am. But it's situations like this where I if you have a poor memory and if you're, get confused easily, then people you can be a little bit more susceptible to manipulation of what I'm talking about. And it really bothers me. It does bother me to no end. What's going on, Doc Shelley? I'm basically having a what my kids would call a mermaid freak out, where I'm just talking about. I think we're in it far. I'm just talking about bullshit on the YouTube front where people are lying and saying untrue things for clicks. And it upsets me because, of course, they get a lot of views because they're scaring people. And 41,000 people tonight that I witnessed were told absolute lies. Veterans are being told absolute lies to be terrified and scared, to become dependent upon those YouTubers. And the YouTubers know that people can't fact check them on it, and they can say whatever they want. Yellow shirt caused me, if you were wearing a yellow shirt during your examination, they're going to deny you. Just straight lies and bullshit. And I'm tired of it. Like, not to the point that it bother you, like I'm going to quit doing YouTube or anything like that, but I'm going to call it, like, I'm trying to decide whether or not I should call it out, how I should call it out, and what I need to do. This right here is just a frustration because the irresponsible person or people who have their YouTube channels and they say things that are factually not true with the intent to scare you so you'll become clickbaity on them, click dependent upon them. Which is not the same, and I want to keep saying this is not the same as, hey, look, Lieutenant Dan said some things that are terrifying and Congress could actually listen to him and change some stuff. That is a factual fear. Like, that is a genuine concern that needs to be reviewed and fought against. Not, I'm wearing a yellow shirt today and, that means that I'm going to get denied type bullshit. And sorry, I'm reading. Yeah, and disabled park hopper, which I love the name. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, like, are the videos good at getting you ready for a CMP so that way your mental health is off the chain? I guess. I don't know, but I just yeah, Dash, I think every shirt color gets you denied. OIG can't do anything against their channel. See, that's the problem. OIG can't do anything against this. Freedom of speech. People can just make stuff up and it be deemed entertainment, right? There's no accountability for this unless we're policing ourselves, right? And that's why I like channels like I've said the Salty Marine, the Salty Old Marine. I like those two guys. We started about the same time. So far, genuine. They have complaints about things. They talk about the complaints about things. It's in their opinion. They're not saying things that are untrue. I like them. I watch both of their channels. I do. And if you don't like them, then you don't have to, but I do. But and there's two different people, Jolly. It's the salty Marine and the salty old Marine. They're two actually separate guys that have similar names. But I just if I don't oh gosh. Could you imagine me ranting nightly? But see, that's the thing. Ranting's fine for entertainment value. But that's why I put out that video the next day of my okay, I've ranted. Now let me shut up and put the facts in front of you. Okay? Because it talks about you can't just randomly raise things to issue. You can solicit a claim if you saw improvement. But and I like okay. I got to address this too. Hold on. We're addressing things. Clickbait thumbnails. I try not to do them, but I have to do them to a certain point. But as hard as I've clickbaited, that's as hard as you're going to get. So I don't like clickbaiting, but I mean, you got to have people watch the videos, man. You know, like you got to say something. You know, I'm not the best wordsmith when it comes to doing thumbnails or anything like that. Like some of the people that are absolute dog shit garbage at putting out information have some of the most beautiful channels. Like their introductions are beautiful. They have like they've put production value into it. And I'm like, wow, that's impressive. I am genuinely impressed. It makes, you know, and should I do that? I don't know. I'm not here for the production value. I'm here for the education value. Take care, Doc. We'll see you later. And I just, I don't know. Like, hold on. Let me go down here and answer some questions. Thank you for all the information. Well, thank you for your support, Carl. Yep. Super sticker. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. And this is not what this is for. I'm not here for the support's cool, but you don't have to like look, that's another thing. You don't have to pay for my information. My information is free, right? Like I just do this as a hobby. Certified, yeah, the fake shot. Look, I wouldn't even do that if I wanted to. Now, what I might do is I might put Luna on something, right? Like have her with her paws on her face. Like I might do that just for something cute, you know, because my dog is here, you know, and my dog is adorable and she is just beautiful and she should be shared with the world. At least she thinks so. But you know, and a little Arnold sitting here with you has been amazing. I don't know. It is just I don't know. I don't know. I'm very disappointed. I don't know what emotion I'm feeling right now, but I'm very disappointed with the bullshit. Like just people putting out nonsense. And I, you know, is it going to stop? No, it's not going to stop. Right. But is there a special place in a very warm place for people that take advantage of other people mentally and emotionally and prey on their emotions? Yeah, there is. And I mean, it's just horrible that 41,000 people, 41,000 potential veterans or bots, hopefully bots, were told a lie. And then the person double downs on the lie and then double downs on the lie. And they do it all the time. I did notice that. I did notice the video. It has to do with something. When my Norton antivirus is updating, which I cannot predict when it's going to happen, it will. My system is just not set up to be powerful enough to do two things at once. Yeah, the Harlequin she is a weird bird. She's my best friend though. She is adorable. Like Zoe is my black and white Great Dane, and she is my wife's dog. And uh, Zoe respects me to some degree, but I am not her human. I am not her person. So she does not necessarily care what I do. But I don't like look, I know you guys want that, but here's the thing. Once I do that, then I feel like I've made a choice. Now, one of the people, and plus I can't control anything that happens, right? Like I can't control anything that happens with their product because I'm not partnered with them or nothing like that. It's just like I've just made some observations that, um, you know, I've made some observations that they're pretty good, right? But I can't guarantee their product. So, and that's kind of where I'm at with that. Like, I mean, exactly, Robert. Exactly. Then I made a choice. And if something happens, then my credibility gets thrown under the table. But here's the thing, I keep saying, like, I'm educating, like, whenever I put out videos, I'm educating you guys on how to review your private DBQs to make sure they're sufficient. That's what I want to do. I want you to be the best person to review your thing so you can make sure it's done right. Not whether or not I endorse this one person for a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, but I'm not going to endorse anybody for money. Yeah, because I don't want to contribute to anything. Have a good night. Time for work. Well, we'll talk to you later. And I I just want to be, yeah, and well, hold on. I do want to remain impartial. That's what I want to do, right? But see, to the detriment, like if I was doing this for the money, it would be the detriment of the money, right? Because it is insanely lucrative to pick a side. Insanely. And yeah. And I don't want to do that. So my goal is to educate you guys to where you can see what is sufficient, what isn't sufficient. And if you need more videos for that, then I'll do more videos for that because I'll get ad revenue, and ad revenue is neutral. Now, what have I said about the channel? If a coffee endorsement comes my way, you can all suck it and meet me down in the parking lot if you want to tussle about it. I will take coffee endorsements only. Like that's the only like kind of partnership that I'm willing to do because coffee has nothing to do with the claims process, right? So I'm willing to take a coffee endorsement from a veteran-owned coffee company just as kind of an aside. I love coffee, right? So that's kind of like what I'm willing to do. But I'd much rather teach each of you how to fact check your own private DBQs to make sure that they're sufficient for rating purposes than to endorse somebody that I can't guarantee that they'll do it right. I need you guys to be the fact checkers on that. All right. So, but I just, and I know that there's, I don't know. I can't, this is new territory for me. Like if I feel a little vulnerable, it's because I am. Like I just started this channel in August, right? Like I haven't done a YouTube video before. I mean, I've taught people before. I'm very comfortable teaching people. I love interacting with people, teaching them how to do it. I love doing that. Like that's one of the loves of my life is teaching individuals and meeting them where they're at to where I don't have to teach the same way. Like, here, come check out my manual here. I've got this thing here in this process. No, I'll meet people where they're at. If I need to do 3 different videos that cover something 3 different ways, then I'll do it. People probably won't watch it, but I'll do it. But I don't I I haven't heard about this, so I don't know this to be true, so I can't weigh in either way. If it is true, then good. Military families need this. If it's not true, then I don't know. Then I like turtles. That's how I do it. I mean, red tail hawk has, this is a profound statement, and I will agree with this to the day I die. But, I don't know. So why am I doing this? It's because it hurts my soul. And wait, let me see here. Carl said something else. Hey, Raider. Can restless leg be claimed secondary to service-connected PTSD? Yes, it can. I have it bad, and I'm currently taking medication to help mitigate it. Okay, so one of the things you need to know, Carl, is element 3 for the secondary theory, which is the medical link between PTSD and the peripheral neuropathy, which is restless leg syndrome is a neurological condition. So connecting that together is going to be the hardest part of that. The second thing is it will be rated like peripheral neuropathy. So just having the diagnosis is 10%, it'll be rated under 85/20. And anytime that you want above 10%, it would have to involve multiple nerves, and it would potentially have to show reduced strength or reflexes in order to be above 10%, if granted. And the meds, yeah, the meds. I mean, it's PTSD and the meds, but we do what we do. And that's fine. Like I just haven't researched it. So and this comes back to my validity and credibility type thing, is that unless I have vetted it, I will not report on it type thing. But if it becomes true, then cool. And what are you doing, Luna? She's in a closet somewhere trying to dig to China. I don't know. And MCM, yeah, I mean, I'm not looking for like. Here's the thing: I'm not fishing for praise or anything like that. But I'm just like, I needed to just talk this out because it bothers me. Like, so, and I don't know if it's not going to change anything. Like somebody said, like me saying this, me commenting on their channel isn't going to change anything. They know what they're saying is not true. They're making a choice, and I'm making a choice, and I'm going to choose the opposite of it. And, but I guess my point here, to the 153 people watching, 159 people watching, hi Luna, is that people are making choices whenever they do these videos, right? Some of these are for entertainment, some of them are for education, but some of them are for personal gain. And you need to monitor what it is that you're intaking into your veteran diet here, into your YouTube diet. You need to make sure that you are looking out there for the fraudsters, for the grifters. Because there are people that will happily take your time, that will happily take your confidence, that will take, and they do it without any kind of like they don't care about the consequences of it. For the most detrimental people, the people that think, they believe the stuff, and they have genuine anxiety, genuine fear, genuine worry, genuine depression about the VAs coming to take their benefits. Now, can it happen sometimes? Yes. There's always that 0.001 chance thing. But nobody is actively, like, some of the things that are said, right? And I can't generalize this statement to everything but what I talked about in the rant video the other day, where I play both sides, where I'm like, okay, this portion is true to a certain degree, la la la. This portion is factually untrue. But I'm trying to put out videos on how things are rated, what the theories are. Hey, veterans, this is how you can claim something if your evidence meets this kind of statistical thing. And trust me whenever I say that I'm putting out one video a day, sometimes two, right? And I'm still not anywhere closer to putting out the videos that I need to help educate the system. But I also feel like I need to sometimes stop and go, what the are you talking about? That is untrue beyond all recognition. And I feel like I have to just, call a spade, right? Like, and just say, look, man, that is just, that is untrue. But I don't want the channel to become that. So I'm trying to balance it. If you ask nicely, somebody will answer you in the chat. There's multiples, right? There are multiple situations. One of the content creators, they actually wrote back and said, okay, yeah, okay, I got it. True tracking, I've got it. I'll do a little bit more research on it. I was like, cool, man. Look, that's all look, I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying, like, look, this has to be about process and not people. I'm not calling you out. I'm just calling out the fact that what you said wasn't accurate. Please make it more accurate. And the other guy's like, I got a lot of money from that. And then, yeah. So and I've just, hey, look, if somebody wants to answer you, that's fine. I know somebody saw my comment in there because I know that certified saw it. I know because they hit it about 2 seconds into this stream. Oops, hold on. Does it negatively affect a VA claim if service records list deployment locations as DoD provided or unknown deployment, especially for Marine security guards? No, it doesn't typically. It just if as long as the deployments are during a period of active duty, then the deployments, I mean, it would hurt based upon the fact that we wouldn't know the locations. So if you're looking for like location-based exposures under 38 CFR 3.320 or 38 CFR 3.317 for the medically unexplained multi-symptom unexplained illnesses thing, then if there's no notation, then that could potentially hurt it. So, yeah, there's no, that is not exactly it. There's a couple of them that sound the same. That's not it. But yeah, so where did Coasty say? Yeah, it's similar, but it's not the same. But yeah, I want to look at here. What's Tim say? Or T-Sim, sorry. Disabled para hopper. Verified stressors are, hey, independent. What? My diagnosis came from the CMP examiner with stressor statement and some entries in the VA medical records after Iraq. Interesting. Typically, if it's fear-based, like we need to know the type of stressor involved. Is it fear-based, non-combat, combat? Like that all matters. Uh-oh, somebody got it. Yeah, somebody got it. Negative. I'm going to say Dash got it. All right, so combat. Okay, so combat stressor. If you're able to access your DBQ on the DBQ itself, it'll talk about the stressors and it'll describe the stressor that is attributed to your PTSD, and then it'll say, is it related to combat, fear of hostile military or terrorist activity? If that's the case, then it should be granted as long as it's PTSD. They say it happened. It's due to combat related stress and whatnot. But yeah. Oh, what? I'm sorry. I thought the mic was muted there. So yeah, sorry. I probably am. I probably am. Who knows at this point in time? Coming with the facts, proving points. This son bitch can only be a CIA VA plant. You know how those two work together. That'd be funny. Oh, John, this is a very good question, actually. So, if you should have like, let's say, a classified operation in which some kind of injury, exposure, something like that happened, then you would need to explicitly, like on a 4138 form, say, hey, look, the injuries that or exposure that I am currently reporting is due to classified operations between this time and this time. There's actually a button that we can push for a records research request whenever we do one. It's under a different name now, but I call them records research request. What happens is we send a request to the DoD. And normally those requests are like, hey, look, the veteran's claiming that they served at this location at this time. Can you please clarify whether or not that's true? And if so, to what degree they served? But for this top secret classified stuff, we check a box saying, hey, the veteran is reported that it's classified. And what we get back is something to the effect of, hey, yes or no. Like, that's basically it. They will not elaborate anything. So if it's a yes, then we kind of go with it and we grant it. But if it's a no, like, no, there's no such animal, like he didn't go there. Because we have had some of the weirdest things happen, like where somebody will claim that they did some super secret squirrel stuff and it's not true, right? Like their records don't support it. Like the DoD comes back and goes, no, this guy never had any super secret squirrel stuff ever. Or they'll say yes, and that's literally like all they say. Yes, give this man what he wants, like type thing. It's really weird. It happens sometimes though. You don't get it very often though. You don't get people claiming the super secret squirrel stuff very often. Uh-oh. Yeah, you'd need to say, "Hey, look, I was exposed to this chemical at in a classified location between this date and time." You have to, like, obviously, and now this is the hard part. As the veteran, you cannot disclose any of the classified materials, or hypothetically speaking, there could be some consequences to that of saying classified things. Like, we are not, even though we are public trust level 3 employees to the level of classified information, raiders are not written into classified military operations. So those are two separate things. So like, start doing security clearances in terms of getting one, because technically secret clearance is what we have, but not secret clearance for the military side of the fence. So I don't see the value added in that, to be honest with you, Benjamin, of getting that, because it doesn't help us prove or disprove something. So I don't know. Just seems weird. Canadro, technically, yes. But will they? No. Typically, no. Technically, yes, they can. Typically, they will not. What they will do is they would dictate to the VSR to re-review it, and they would cite the evidence and say, hey, VSR, I need you to go and update this and correct this and then order an exam based upon this. That's what they do. Some of them can technically, but it would be the exception and not the rule. So so if you are rated for migraines secondary to sinusitis and you go back for an increase, do they just look at what you submit or at your sinusitis as well? Okay, so based upon this question, I'm going to say that you are asking for a migraines increase. If you go for a migraines increase and you say, I wish to increase my migraines, there is no reason, there is no factual reason for them to look at sinusitis in any way, shape, or form. And I would report that unless somebody is has a bias involved and they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, no rater should be looking at sinusitis unless you claimed it. That's the way it works. All right, T Sims, we'll see you later. But yeah, like, and this is like one of the things I'm having to fight a lot of the time is, if you claim migraines, will they look at your plantar fasciitis? Well, did you talk about plantar fasciitis? No. Okay, then nobody's looking at your plantar fasciitis. Like, we don't got time for that. Nobody has time for that. Like, there's this fantasy. It's like Walmart. Think about Walmart for a minute. Have you ever seen customers that are like, oh, do you have it in the back? Like, there's an infinite storeroom in the back of Walmart where everything is currently at, and we've got 100 of them in the back, right? It's like that. For nobody is looking at things that are not claimed, because when they start tinkering around with things that aren't claimed, they open themselves up to a critical quality error, and nobody wants that. And I'm sorry, I'm not picking on you or nothing like that, JSM. I'm just saying that, it is what it is. Let me see here. I'm looking at stuff. I had top secret clearance. I could be at 400% rating if I was able to claim all the things. Yeah. But I mean, you technically can claim the things. You can just say, hey, look, I was exposed to, cobalt, nickel 19, whatever, during a top secret thing between these time periods. And then we would look it up and they would go yes or no. So, I mean, technically, yeah, technically you could still claim them. I mean, you just have to be careful to just say there was a top secret thing during this time period. You know what, Jim? I'm hoping to get lucky too with a lottery. I heard it was 1 point something billion dollars. My dogs are fighting right in front of my desk, and it's annoying me. Because it's like having two elephants slam into each other, and it's shaking everything. Hoping to get lucky, waiting patiently since November 8th live stream. If an examiner only addresses causation but not aggravation for a secondary claim, can that be addressed at a higher level review? Yes. Yes, it can. If you explicitly claim something and that was not considered in the rationale or in the compensation and pension, if your theory that you explicitly claimed, then yeah, you'd have grounds for a duty to assist error associated with a higher level review. Yeah. Yep. Oops. Technically you could. Yes. Technically you could. I'll be honest with you, Benjamin. VR&E has been dog droppings recently. They haven't been approving a lot. I don't know what's going on, man. It is insanity lately. I've heard a lot of people getting denied for VR&E. The struggle is real, let me tell you. Let me go here. I guess we got another couple of things here. Old Nuke, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate it. And then BCF 6470. STRs indicate bench press 3 times a week at 250 pounds repetitive, had chest muscle injury, costochondritis. Can that actually be claimed as cervical disc disorder? No, because it's costochondritis. MRI shows cervical issues 20 years later. Okay, so can you claim the repetitive injury that at that time the muscle injury happened, that a neck injury happened? Could that be claimed? Yes. Will the examiner have a favorable review of the fact pattern and say that your 20-year cervical disc disorder is caused explicitly by that particular muscle injury? Low statistical likelihood unless you can pad the evidence. Vocational rehabilitation disrobed. Um, so it's statistically unlikely, but then again, you have what is known as a striker's chance of winning that claim. So if you get a examiner that is favorable to that, if you can show consistent treatment throughout from that time on where you have neck complaints, then yes, it can be done. Um, but it's just hard. Okay, so it can be challenging. Uh, Vocational rehabilitation. That's what it is. It's VRNE. And I'm trying for, yes, look, please, please make me an offer, Black Rifle Coffee. Make me an offer I can't refuse. I don't need money. I just need coffee. Coffee's expensive. What usually triggers a deferral? This is a good question, Mike. So it depends on what deferral you're talking about. There's two different stages of development or of the claims process that can actually defer things. You have the rating board or the rater that can defer things back to development. Now, why they would defer something back is due to either there was missed obligatory development, like we forgot to send you a 5103 notice. We can't rate the claim until the 5103 notice has been satisfied, something like that. Or we can defer back because something to do with an examination was insufficient for rating purposes and needs to be reviewed for clarification and or just accuracy. So that's like the rater defers back because some action and development was insufficient. The authorizer and or promulgator, the person before the authorizer, can defer things back to the rating decision if something in the rating decision or something in development before the rater, was insufficient for rating purposes. So those are the two times in which something that can trigger a deferral. Typically what you'll see is and I don't know about the stages of like whatever the rater stage is, because I never like the stages don't match up with how the process actually works. But the stage that the rater's at, if it gets deferred back, then that has to do with some kind of exam or something like that. If it's at the final product portion where the authorizer is touching it and it gets deferred back, it could be due to the rater screwing up something in the rating decision or there being something insufficient for rating purposes that the rater missed or some kind of deferral. I need to go back here. Hubby has his mental health exam today, or had it today, potentially. He said if that is what mental health exam is, I think it is useless. We are finding out we are only doing everything backwards. Laugh out loud. Onward and upward. Well, and just understand that if you've never done something beforehand, the chances of you doing it perfectly are astronomically low. So this might be just a test bed for the mental health exam to kind of understand what the process looks like. Okay. So, and I did a video about tips on mental health exams. You should watch it. I hate to be the guy that says, watch my video, but I think you should. I don't know. What is Black Rifle Coffee? Yeah. Let me look down here. I'm going to be honest. That's probably true. They're hurting for good qualified. Like they're hiring for VRNE right now, even though the hiring freeze is still going on, because they just don't have people, and probably not good people either. I shouldn't say it like that. A lot of people left. So when a lot of people leave, a lot of good people leave. So it leaves a lot of people that might not be the best at their job being literally the best at their job currently. So I'm looking around. What can you do? Okay. What can you do if a higher level review is denied and in the denial they stated that the cervical injury was caused by lumbar injury, even though the DBQs all stated it's more likely than not caused by service? Okay, so for this, anytime you have a higher level review, you can't higher level review a higher level review. You'd have to do a supplemental claim and potentially claim a new medical nexus. This is going to be challenging. All right, D's, try not to dox myself. The correspondence claim closed is an 1151 claim. Day 48, Vera confirmed Capri pull done, no exam ordered, and hardship expedite attached. No exam ordered. I would freak the hell out about that one because they're saying there's what I'm getting from this is there's insufficient evidence to show element one of a current diagnosis or that any kind of injury at the VHA happened to begin with. I would be very concerned with the fact that there is no examination. How long does the VA have to provide a decision letter? I had a decision on December 1, but still no letter. You should be able to go into va.gov and print that letter. I mean, you don't necessarily, like, it can take as long as the mail takes, to be honest with you. I don't know. Sometimes it gets weird. Good night. I don't know what the nugget was about, but maybe there was a nugget there. Who knows? I'm rocking an older system. Like, I think I've got just an integrated graphics card and the motherboard. I don't know what I got in it, but the motherboard is old. So what happens is when the I don't know what I'm not a really big computer guy, but what happens is that if I use like if Norton antivirus spins up, I mean I got 64 gigs of RAM in there. Or no, 32. I got 32 gigs of RAM in there. And when my Norton antivirus spools up, it just destroys it causes some kind of confliction with stuff. And if I'm recording at the time and I get the pop up, it messes with my recording. I don't know why, but it just does. It makes it to where something I sound like a robot, or it just cuts my sound. Um, they are overworked, and I'm not talking smack about them. I'm just saying that a lot of them left, and they're trying to hire more. Da, 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 da. And you probably won't. I mean, as long as you're making good grades and stuff. I mean, the only time like I went through VR&E way back in the day, so back when it was Voc Rehab, and so I don't have a good. This is just speculation at my point in time as to what the current thing is. I have a buddy of mine that is or recently was a vocational rehabilitation counselor and moved over to being a rater, and I'm trying to pressure them into actually starting a YouTube channel and just talking about VR&E because I I think it would be very interesting. And they won't do it, but they're it's a good guy. Hope he does it. Yeah. And then let's see here. Old Nuke, if not for intermediate secondary, would not have happened. I think I understand this is needed, but it's unclear. If not, but for intermediate secondary would not have happened. Okay. Yeah. Oh, shoot me an email. 12 Bravo 10. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Always appreciated, never required. I mean, you guys don't have to do any of this. I mean, I appreciate the donations and whatnot, but it's like I said, it's not required. The putting out the information is the what I get from it. Yeah, I'm just multitasking. I've got two screens, and I think my system is just this image right here. Hold on, let me take the banner down. I think this image is actually very appropriate with the smoke coming off the little tower here. The same smoke that's coming off the coffee is coming off the tower. I think that's true. But yeah, I don't know. And like, subscribe to the videos if you like the subscribe to the videos thing. But 07's to you. Okay, Darius, this is an interesting question because we used to do this for Nemer all the time. This is where the viewing social media disagreement came from. Yes, they can do what we do is an in-house examination. We wouldn't do an ACE exam, right? But it's a form of ACE exam. It's called an in-house medical opinion, where the deceased veteran's facts at the time, like their medical evidence, gets sent to an in-house doctor, and the in-house doctor does a review to see if the condition could have been, uh, you know, uh, they do a review. They do a medical opinion. So yes, it can be. Stop playing with my emotions, Pocus. I mean it. Stop playing with my emotions. Stop playing. I just think it'd be cool. Like honestly, I don't need a endorsement from anybody, but I just think it would be really cool and it would make my kids just over the moon. My dad's sponsor. Just be weird. But yeah. Send it. Send your question. I am ready. I am ready for your question. You send that question to me. I'm waiting. You're making me wait. You remember the cadences back in basic? Maybe you didn't have the cadences of "Hurry up, we're waiting on you. Hurry up, we're waiting on you." That one. Come on, Jack Frost. I'm waiting. Come on, type your question. I'm happy to answer. I'll catch it whenever it comes down here. So then, why you need the program? Don't just say things like "I need a degree to get the." Oh, I guess this is a conversation I'm not privy to, but okay. Okay. I had a deceased veteran get reduced from 100% to 30% recently. How the hell does that happen? Who? How? How? I mean, I'll be honest with you. If they're okay, okay, weird stuff happens. Okay, so oh my gosh, hold on. What are your opinions when a claim has no STRs? Somebody hasn't looked hard enough, or else it's a fire-related claim. That's my opinion. On that, death and indemnity compensation. That's what that is. It's what we call the widow's pension. There's that. 3-month subscriber, Rudy, with all my disabilities rated as static for combined 90%, 3 claims pending. If I get to 100%, what's the likelihood that I may get PNT? If you get to 100%, then the likelihood is that unless you are required, that's what that policy letter 21-01 is. As of 2021 October, we don't do future exams unless they're mandated and required. So if you have 3 conditions that do not have built-in mandatory routine future exams, then you become total and permanent at that time. How can you tell? If you're also awarded DEA, Dependents Education Assistance, at the same time, then you are total and permanent, because you can only be issued DEA, Dependents Education Assistance, if you are total and permanent. So yeah, the rated dead guy thing. This is what I thought too, Benjamin. That's like seriously, that's what I thought originally. I'm like, why would he go to 30? Currently there's it should be 0, but I hate to laugh, but that's somebody did some weird stuff there, MCM. I would wonder why they even reduced them. Send me an email about that. I want to know. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. I'm going to go back up here. Oh, actually, hold on. I got Jack Frost's question at Raider. Second part of the question. I am a live-in aide. Do I qualify for TDIU? Jack, you have broken my brain. Jack, okay, hold on, Jack. Are you a veteran? I've got questions. Hold on. I've got questions. Jack, my disability rating, is it a combined 80%, 50%, PTSD 10%, 50%, sleep apnea due to PTSD? So You are a live-in aid for someone else, or you require a live-in aid? If you're employed gainfully, then you don't qualify for TDIU. So I guess that's the question that we're asking here. Yes, I am. To what question? You are a live-in aid. Okay, so if you are gainfully employed, which means that you make over the poverty level, like I want to say $15,000 a year of actual income, then you could not qualify for TDIU. So TDIU has a very specific set of criteria. You must be unable to maintain gainful employment. So that's where that falls in. Good question, though, Jack Frost. Good question. Do raters use social media against claims? Do all raters use social media against claims? No. Do some people use social media against claims for specific things? They just go looking around in people's social media? Yes. I've witnessed it. I've observed it. I've cautioned against it. I've told my leadership about it, and they don't care because they can't prove it to be true. They can't prove that they use social media to do what they did. But yes, a minuscule amount, less than 10% in my estimation, probably about 5% or less, if I had to guess. I probably did read the second part of your thing, because sometimes my question thing, I don't. I probably read the second part of that, and I probably missed part of it. I get tired. Ranting's hard. Ranting's hard work, people. Sitting here ranting with you about the stupids. Who's your daddy? What does he do? Coming on here talking about veterans. Uncondonable. We're not going to take it. We're going to bench press our way out of this. Put on more weight. Stop being a sissy. Stop it. It's too easy. Sorry. I'm in a glass cage full of emotion. That's how I feel a lot of the time. Thank you. Everybody, reach out to Black Rifle Coffee right now. They need to sponsor rants. Black Coffee sponsorship. No, Raider Rants brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee. Nightly rants. Is it a tumor? I don't know. You're making me scared. Stop it. Stop it now. How many characters do somebody said? Is it? Oh, wait, I can't do it. Hold on. That's what I said. Stop talking about it. You know, Jerry Seinfeld. Oh, what are you doing? I could do a lot of characters. I used to do impersonations. I used to get in trouble, like back in my unit, back in basic training specifically. I could actually copy the drill sergeant. So I would yell down the corridor, "Toe the line!" I could also do this Puerto Rican one. He was a Puerto Rican drill sergeant, and I could do him perfectly. And oh man, I'd make people. I got in so much trouble. Let's just say I like shenanigans. I like shenanigans a lot. I like to play practical jokes, but thank you for on my behalf. And hey, include my email. I was a private joker. I was a private joker. Yes. I used to get people in trouble. I mean, like, yeah. Jeez. But yeah, I don't know. But guys, I think I've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes. I think I'm about done for tonight. But thank you for coming on to the short notice rant, I guess I want to say. But I'm going to summarize. I'm going to do some more videos. I think I'm going to talk about tomorrow's video is going to be about how to, if you're permanent and total, how do you claim something additionally with the lowest risk of potentially getting the Eye of Sauron on you to review other things? Okay, because technically, if you were to just go in there guns blazing and just start saying weird stuff, could you pull in things that you unintentionally want to? Yes. But I'm going to talk about tomorrow to how do you go about doing it in a way that gives you the lowest risk of doing it, because sometimes there is a potential benefit, you know? SMCK, like having SMCK granted would be an extra 100 and something bucks. You know, what situations could potentially have a rater involved? Like I was reading somewhere that somebody said that dependent claims don't involve a rater. Well, that's true for the most part, except in the terms of helpless child. If you have a helpless child review, a rater has to sign off on that. So there are caveats to things. What? Just asked what? I wasn't looking. Somebody said something. Julian. Rater, I won my last claim as you suggested. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's look at this. I won my latest claim as you suggested, requested the long form narrative. It was 5 pages, just the narrative. Hey, I know, right? Like it's amazing what happens when you ask. But John, did you like the long form narrative? Because I like the long form narrative. I do. It's so nice. But anyway, guys, that's about it. I'm gonna keep up. We'll still have the live stream on Saturday, so we'll have that. We'll try to keep it to a normal set of nonsense like we normally do. I don't know about the. I look. I have no clue. I don't have a say in it, but yeah. But anyway, John, you could be granted potentially under 38 CFR 3.309A, depending on your personality disorder. So I might look into that. I might take that to a VSO, and I'm going to put it in the chat, John, of 38 CFR 3.309A. Just review that, please. Because if you had psychosis within a year, if you had psychosis of any kind, like that kind of personality disorder, then you could potentially win that claim and get it granted. Okay. So and it's PTSD, but is it with PTSD with psychosis at the time in 1991? Did you experience psychosis? If you did, and you'd have to, if you're not familiar with psychosis, then you probably have to look it up and you probably have to research your records. But if you had psychosis in your STRs, then you could win that claim under that theory for service connection. Okay. Yes, if there is. Most of the time it's special monthly compensation. But yes. Oh, and one last thing, guys. I want to say something real quick, okay? Like before I go. I want to talk to you about something real quick, and we're going to keep it simple. You can claim your parents, not your spouse's parents, but your parents on your award if you provide them some kind of financial support. Okay? Not everybody understands that. I've talked to a few people that did not know that they can claim their parents on their award, to where they get to keep their parents on their award for the rest of their life. And it's like a couple $100 per parent, but it has to be your parent. Okay. It can't be your spouse's parent, but you can claim your parents. There's a special form to do it. I just want to throw that out there because there's a lot of people right now that provide financial aid to their parents that are and you don't have to be a certain percentage. You could be 10% and providing aid to your parents. You can claim them on your award if they get some income from you. It depends, Star. It depends. It's not a standard $300. It shifts depending on what your percentage is. Okay. No, this is just for VA purposes. This is not for tax purposes. This is not for SSI. It doesn't actually translate over. This is just an additional benefit. Sorry, my family's home, so it's about time to stop. But this is something we can talk about. So, stranger, if you come on Saturday, let's bring this back up. Oh, and I like the Star Citizen. I like the Star Citizenship there. The was it the cutter, the Drake cutter ship there. I appreciate that. That's very nice. Let me see here. Let me try to see if there's any other questions here that I can. I think that there was one that was supposed to be up here. Oh, yeah. Hold on just a second here. Doing a BDD. After I submit the BDD, can I still go to medical to the VA clinics in active duty program? Yeah, you can still go to, and I would suggest it. If you're doing a BDD claim, get everything diagnosed. Get everything diagnosed forever. Yeah, get everything. Yeah, the Drake cutter. Yeah. Stranger danger. Yes, I know what that is. I'm a nerd. Okay. Yeah, the cutter. Yeah. See, I'm a nerd too. I could be a nerd. No, your parents do not have to live with you. They just have to get some financial support from you. That's what makes this so fun, or not fun, but this so important, is because you could literally be leaving hundreds of dollars on the table. So, and I'm also going to say, hey guys, before I leave, this is the time of year we got to reach out to each other, okay? Buddy checks, stuff like that, okay? So make sure that nobody's suffering in silence. Reach out to your buddies. I mean it. Personal statements for BDD claims do not necessarily matter because you either have a diagnosis or you don't. They can be good to tell the examiner something, but the examiner will either say that you do or do not have a diagnosis, and that's all the VA needs. But anyway, guys, that's about all I got for you tonight. Raider out. Wait. Raider's not out yet. Somebody, you guys keep doing this. You guys are killing me with this. I have the same question. I read something, now I've got to look at it. You're going to kill me, okay? Thomas27 had a question. Yeah, personal statements for BDDs are just meant to tell the examiner, to help the examiner come to the conclusion of a disability. There are specific requirements for a BDD that must be satisfied, but if you have a diagnosis in service, your DBQ counts as element 1, element 2, and element 3. If you have a diagnosis, you get granted. That's the way the BDD works. Sorry. Anyway, guys, Luna says I've got to go because it's time to go outside. But anyway, Raider out.